Welcome back. So today we are going to do birch trees, and they are going to be painted by one of our seniors, Jackie Schmidt, and she's going to come in just a little bit. First, we're going to go through some of the materials that we have.
Okay.
And so the first thing we need to do is place down our trash bag, which is not provided, so you need to make sure that you have your own trash bag for easy cleanup. And then inside of our to-go bag that was handed out or delivered, we have our pair of gloves to keep clean. We have our paper plate to put our paint on. We also have black and white paint, and this is what we're going to use to do our birch trees. And we have our cardboard, which is what we're going to use to do our painting. And then we have our construction paper, which is what we're painting on. And so now I am going to introduce Jackie Schmidt, and she will go further on into telling us how to paint.
Now let's see.
So this is Jackie Schmidt, and she will be teaching us how to do birch trees.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and I think, Jackie, we're going to really enjoy it, and it's really enjoyable to teach this to other people. Because, for example, you do not use a paintbrush, but yet you paint a picture that's really not bad looking at all. We're just going to use pieces of cardboard like this, and we've got them cut up in little squares, about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, real easy. The other thing that we're going to be using is white. This is acrylic paint, but you could do it with tempera too, and that works. And if you're concerned about like cleanup, as you were saying, it's really nice to have a nice sheet like this out there, a plastic sheet. This is our paint, black and white. That's all we're going to use, and apply the paint cardboard. It just doesn't get any better than that. So, but you know what? I do need a pencil. I see one right ahead. If I could just, thank you. We do have to have a pencil because what you're going to do is you can hold the paper either this way or this way. It depends on how you feel like doing it. And then let's do 3 trees because that's the easiest way to learn. So what I'm going to do first is show you how we're going to make the shape of the tree. Well, we all know what a tree looks like, right? They're all a little bit different though, but we're going to make 2 lines like this. And those two lines have the tree inside them. Now there's a tree. Here comes another tree. 2 more lines, that's all there is. We're doing I want to say the stalk of the tree, the trunk of the tree. Okay, so you see there's our trees, 1, 2, and 3. And those are the only things that we have to do. We have to have a pencil, and we have to have a piece of paper, and then we have to have black and white paint, and a couple of these piece of cardboard brushes. So, should we get started? All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to always start on the left and work towards the right. And we're going to use white first, and then the black will go into the white. I'll try to hold the camera. Can you tell I've not done this before? I mean, I've painted before, but I've never done this before. So here we go. We're going to do the best we can, and you're going to like this. And you try it, and you'll find it's very fun. All you have to do is just dip the paint into the cup like this. Just dip it in. And then set it down on the left side of the trunk, and go to the right like this. Or you say, oh my gosh, I've got some blue showing through. Let the blue show through. I promise it's going to look fine when you're finished. Wonder if I could lay this down and paint. Would that be okay? All right, if you have a problem with that, just holler for Jackie. She'll do something about it. She knows what she's doing. Okay, so now let me do the other one. There's one half done. See? There you go. Thank you. All right, now we're going to do the second one. Same way, just push, 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 and we don't squeeze it, the cardboard or anything like that. It's so much easier than doing a brush, so I promise. So now we're going to do the last one of our 3, and it's the same way. And you say, oh, but that's not very neat. It doesn't have to be neat. We know when you look at nature, it's very perfect, but it's imperfect, and that's what makes it perfect. Notice I've got the white of our trees now, and now we're going to set this down in the palette and take the black. And once again, you just dip it into there and let it do that. And on the other side, I'll set it down, and we're going to go in towards the white. And you might pick up a little bit of the white, but that's okay. We don't want to get it all the way through though, because you know what a birch tree looks like. I taught this in Arizona once, and the lady said, Mrs. Schmidt, how are we supposed to know what a birch tree looks like if we've never seen one? We don't have them in Arizona. And I said, oh, you've got aspen trees, and they're very much like there's a poor Jackie's trying to run this camera. Okay, so there's one of the trunks is ready now. We're going to dip our paint back in the black, and once again drag it into the white. And you just drag it in there, and you say, oh, there's some gray showing. That's fine, let it. But there's some blue showing. Let that show, because I promise it's going to make it just look that much more authentic when you see it. Now there are two. Here comes a third one, the last third, because we only are going to do 3 this time. In nature, you find things are very often in odd numbers, 5, 7, 9, things like that. Many anemones, flowers, they're always 5, and starfish are 5, and so many things. And so we decided to start our tree. Jackie, is this okay? Can they see? Fine. Okay, well, we've got our trunks made now, and we're going to start now with the oh, I forgot to put on the gloves. Can you see I'm new at this? Well, I'm not new at this, but I'm new at this. If you look at my hands, you know I do not wear rubber gloves all the time like I should. But, oh well. Okay, here I go. I'm going to show you how to do the branches now, and they're really simple. You just, can I lay it down like this again? I'm a newbie to this, but that's okay. So we're going to just decide where we want our branches. Well, I can make my branches anywhere I want, but one thing you don't want to do is make it look like a ladder, because you know in life, in nature, these trees, the branches grow all the way around the tree. They do not look like a ladder, and probably that's one of the biggest things that I would always have with my students, and I've been doing this 30 years, so I got to tell you, I've had a lot of students, and of all ages, and everybody can do these trees. Now, this is partially one so far. It's getting there. It's going to be okay, I promise. And you'll look at yours and say, no, it doesn't look good. Yes, it will, I promise. So now we're going to just make sure that we're doing the around the tree, because that's how branches really go. They do not look like a ladder. You know what a ladder looks like. I don't have to tell you. So anyhow, we're going to we just dip once again, we just dip the black in. And true story, generally we don't use really thick cardboard, but you know what? You can use this too. There's nothing to this. It's all beautiful, and it all work out well. Yeah, and you can, by the way, you can make cards with a smaller, just either cut it or fold it into quarters, and you can make smaller birch trees on a card, and you can make lovely greeting cards this way. So now you see we've got lots and lots and lots of branches on our tree, and we're happy. Except it snowed, obviously. This is Alaska we're talking about, and so it snowed. So let's put some, that's the wrong color. Let's take some white, and what we're going to do with the white, again, you just put it there a little bit on the card, and just touch it to the top of each one of your branches, because it shows that it snowed, and the snow is laying on the branches. And you don't have to be very careful. Look, you can still see some of the blue through. Now, some folks just think it all has to look perfect. And I'm going to say, no, it doesn't. Because in nature, the perfection is the imperfection. And just the beautifulness of how they look in reality. Okay, so we're getting done with our snow. It's just plopping on top of other branches, and it's looking good. So simple, isn't this simple? You can do this anytime you want. Folks, I have done this with kindergarten children, and they do beautiful pictures. And where do you suppose they hang them when they get up, when they get them home? On the refrigerator. So there was always a lot, when I did this lesson, there was always a lot of birch trees on refrigerators. And I have to say I was very proud of that. If they would tell me, the moms would come in and say, oh, I've got beautiful artwork of the kids, and it's all on my refrigerator. Well, that's where we put it. Okay, now you say, oh my gosh, look at that, how simple that was. And now, if we were doing this with kids, we would take more time, and we would allow them to, watch, it's a good lesson in botany too, that the branches grow all the way around the tree trunk and not just on top or on one side or on the other. but we're not finished because there needs to be a base there, something to stop. And you're saying, yeah, but the trees go all the way, I can't see the top of the tree. That's right. Because if we were looking out the window and there were trees in front of our window, you know we would not see the top of the tree and we wouldn't see the bottom of the tree. So it's kind of like looking through a window and just seeing part of a tree. So, but let's make a base on it now. So we're going to just take, now we'll take the whole card again, just like this, and just go, whoop, and just kind of swoop in there, and you say, oh my gosh, I'm getting black in there too. Well, you're not, because you're just, you know, in nature, again, in nature, the colors always kind of blend, and you always get shadows. Now we can figure, if we were going to do a lesson for older children, we would talk about where the sun is now, and where the sun would be shining, it would be casting a shadow. But we're not going to do that because this is just a wonderful lesson in how to make a birch tree. 3 of them this time. Well, Jackie, how did I do for my very first time? Oh my goodness.
You did amazing.
Yay, oh, amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you, it was a pleasure. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie. And thank you all for watching our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and so you get more updates on our videos of what we're doing at the Palmer Senior Center. Thank you. Have a great day. See you next time.